Hi. In this video, you will learn how to use the template editor to create your own project template, as well as how to export and import templates from other users. In Pocket Inspections, templates are divided into system templates and project templates. System templates are available to the account owner and organization administrators under Settings, Manage Project Templates. This section also contains the templates that we create ourselves. Every new project in Pocket Inspections starts with selecting a template. Therefore, I will create a new project, choose one of the templates available in Pocket Inspections, one of the built-in templates, and use it as the basis for the new project. Now that the project has been created, I can start editing the template, meaning I can modify the fields that will appear in the details of each issue. I go to Settings and click Edit Template. The template screen is divided into several tabs. We have the Template tab. This is where we make all changes related to the fields in our issue details. There is also the Settings section, where we can assign a name, description, and icon to our template. One important thing to note, here we can decide which fields will be displayed in the mobile application when using this template, as well as which columns will be visible by default in the web application. This is also where we can export our template or import another one. The audit log allows us to review the history of changes made to the template, who edited it, when it was edited, and what changes were made. Let's move on to the Template tab. The Template tab is divided into three sections: Project Header Fields, Issue Detail Fields, a column on the right containing the fields that can be used to edit our template. One thing to keep in mind is that certain fields are dedicated to specific sections. For example, the project header fields can only be used in the project header section, while the issue detail fields can only be used in the issue detail section. In the template editor, we can perform several types of operations on our template: add fields, remove fields, rename fields, set field hierarchy, change the display order of fields. Let's start by changing the project name field to Investment Project. Next, I would like to remove the fields that I consider unnecessary. Then, from the list of available fields in the Project Header Field section, I will add a Notes field. I will rename it as well. Now let's edit the issue detail fields. First, I will remove the fields that I do not need. Next, I would like to change their display order. After that, I will add two new fields. The first one will be a numeric field. Here we can choose between several field types: integer number, decimal number. Date, and time. I will choose decimal number. I save it and move it to the position where I want it to appear. Then I will add a text field. Here we can choose between text field single choice list user list, GPS location. I will select text field. I move it to the desired position. Now for one more operation: setting up hierarchical dependencies between fields. I will add a field that is already predefined by default, subcategory. The same process can be applied to other fields as well. The important thing is that the field type must be a single choice list. I select subcategory and move it to the desired location. Now we only need to configure the hierarchy. To do this, I select the child field, in my case, subcategory. Then in this section, I select the parent field, which in my case is category. The next step is to choose a value for the category field. For example, when I select finishing works, I want a corresponding value to appear in the subcategory field. I add the value wall painting. As you can see, the value has been added to our field. The hierarchy should be understood as follows. If I select category equals finishing works, then wall painting will appear in the subcategory field. I'll show you how this works in practice in a moment. Before moving to the issue form view, I'd like to show you another very important feature: the ability to copy data directly from a spreadsheet into our template. To do this, as before, I select the child field. Let's use category this time. Then I select the value structure. Instead of adding values one by one, I will use the option located here. This allows me to paste a ready-made set of values separated either by commas or by new lines. I switch to my spreadsheet. I copy the data that I want to include in my template. Then I paste it here. As you can see, the fields have been added automatically. I don't need to create them manually, which saves a considerable amount of time. Now let's see how the structure of my issue details looks after editing the template. I create a new issue and enter a title. I select the category Finishing Works. When I click Subcategory, Wall Painting appears. If I select a different category, for example, Structure, then the values imported from the Excel file will be displayed. Now that our project template is ready, we can export it and create a system template that can be used when creating new projects. To do this, we can save the entire project configuration as a template from the project settings. If we want to export the template file and share it with someone from another organization, we can do that directly from the template editor. All that remains is to rename the template, and then it can be exported. Once the template has been exported, we can import it as a system template. To do this, go back to Menu, then Settings and Manage Project Templates. In the upper right corner, select Import Template. I choose the file that I exported and then click Import. My template has been imported successfully and now appears in the list. From here, we can also edit the template. Several settings are available. We can export the template, duplicate it, uninstall it, which moves it to the Available Online tab. Delete it completely. Let's open the template editor. As you can see, the only difference between the project-level template editor and the system template editor is the Roles tab. This is because when you export a project template, you also export its roles, the roles configured within that project. If you create a new project, those roles will also be copied. However, if you import a project template file into an already existing project, keep in mind that the roles currently configured in the project will not be replaced by those from the template. Another way to create your own template is by duplicating an existing template in the application. Let's use the Project Management and QA template and select Duplicate Template. I'll change its name. At this point, my template list should display My Template version 2. Now I can edit its fields and all other template settings, just as we did with the project template. As mentioned earlier, the only difference between the project-level and system-level template editors is the Roles tab. This is where we can define the roles that will be loaded into our project. To edit a template within a project, the user must have the Manage Project Template permission. That's all for this video. Thank you for watching.